Israeli propaganda, which has long been dominant in Western media, is struggling to gain traction in China. Despite Israel's global PR machinery, the Chinese government, media, and public opinion are increasingly questioning and rejecting its narratives. Israel is making desperate attempts to convince China to support its version of events, from diplomatic pressure to emotional appeals. Israel is scrambling to manipulate Chinese sentiment, but none of it seems to be working. Why is this happening? And what does it mean for the future of global perceptions of Israel and Palestine? Let's break it down. One of the biggest reasons Israeli propaganda is struggling in China is that China has an independent foreign policy. While Western politicians and pundits jump at the speed dial commands of Israeli lobby groups, China operates differently. While the Beijing makes its own assessments based on strategic interests rather than ideological alignment with the West. Historically, China has supported Palestinian rights, recognizing Palestine as a state and backing UN resolutions that criticize Israeli actions. China sees Israel's occupation of Palestine as a colonial issue, which resonates with its own historical experience of resisting foreign interference. If you ever needed proof that Israeli propaganda simply doesn't work in China, look no further than the embarrassing attempt to use Noah Argamani, the famous Israeli hostage, to gain sympathy. In a desperate move, Israeli officials and Western media try to play up her story, assuming that the Chinese public would suddenly forget about Israel's crimes and rally behind Israel because her mother was born in China. The plan was to push emotional stories about her to guilt-trip China into supporting Israel's actions in Gaza. But the Chinese government and the people weren't buying it. Instead of sympathy, the response was swift and brutal. Social media exploded with comments pointing out the hypocrisy of focusing on one hostage while thousands of Palestinian civilians, including entire families, are being wiped out. Many Chinese citizens asked, what about the thousands of Palestinian Noah Argamanis? The overwhelming reaction was rejection, showing once again that Israel's emotional manipulation tactics might work in the West, but they fall flat in China. Although China has its own oppressive relationship with Uyghur Muslims, it does recognize the legitimacy of Muslim nations and their struggles. Many Chinese officials see Palestine as part of the broader Muslim world, which China has been strengthening ties with in recent years through economic and diplomatic initiatives. As if that wasn't enough to doom Israel's propaganda push, considering the crumbling state of China-Israel relations, especially when it comes to military ties. Back in the day, Israel was happy to sell China advanced tech, like drones and radar systems, in the 80s and 90s, but those days are long gone. Thanks to Uncle Sam throwing a fit, like when the US killed a deal in 2005 for Israel to upgrade drones for China, military cooperation has dried up. As of 2025, there is no sign of recent arms deals between the two. China has deep trade and energy ties with Muslim-majority countries in the Middle East, including Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan. Criticizing Israeli actions aligns with China's broader diplomatic approach, which seeks to maintain strong relationships with these countries. Given that many Muslim nations oppose Israel's occupation of Palestine, China's alignment with the global South naturally leads to skepticism towards Israeli narratives. The collapse of Israeli propaganda in China signals a shift in the global information war over Palestine. As China rises as a global power, its independent stance on Israel and Palestine will have a significant impact on international discourse. For decades, Israel has relied on Western media to control the narrative, but the world is changing. The rise of multipolarity means that Israel's grip on information is loosening, and China is playing a key role in this shift. As Muslims, we must recognize that the battle for public opinion is just as important as the battle on the ground. The fact that a major world power like China is resisting Israeli propaganda is a sign that the truth about Palestine is breaking through. What do you think about China's role in shaping the global perception of Israel? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.